Stop Liberia. From the center to interior, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us.
For the next 13 days, I will keep you crying. And you're crying all over the place? What I will continue to do, I've already succeeded in completely demoralizing your base. You're just crying all over the place. I haven't even started. I'm just warming up. How dare you, foolish, desperate people, talk about rescue country. Joseph Boakai couldn't even rescue himself. Some of you passing around, oh, cause that day, cause that. Where were you when I raised the money left and right to feed him and fly him from hospital to hospital? Where were you all sitting there talking nonsense? Talking about cause I ain't got no integrity. I didn't have integrity when I was feeding Joseph Boakai, your God. Bunch of ungrateful people. Have you heard Joseph Boakai deny that I was raising money left and right to feed him? Have you heard him deny it? He will never deny it because he knows this to be true.
Some of you thought I was never going to raise families of Boakai.
Yeah.
Because I went to countries. I'm not criticizing because I want to criticize. I'm criticizing because we said yesterday, former President Biya was riding private jet. But if Joseph Boakai had brought the power, is riding private jet from here to go to the Father. Yeah. But I will speak because people in Saturday saw me while passing the road with my comfort. Spend my own money to bring him to power because we thought the wrong yesterday was going to be right today. Yeah. I had no regret to vote against one President. But the people that are brought to power will regret why I had to vote for them. They can be. This country is a better place and will be a better place.
Yes, sir.
But there's money in the country that we can make from. We don't need money from outside.
So,
but we don't want to empower people here. You say that are lawbreakers. We have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money in the budget for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawbreakers. Some people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the law. The law is really breaking the law, but you want to go up. You know why people want to go up? Because they want to increase the time. They say they're too short. You cannot be a gangster, then you want to run road. You cannot be a lawmaker, then you strike the law that we made ourselves. Then you say you want this senator, then you waste your time. Nobody here can be for the government economy. But when we kill people, it's not happening and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people were there, government kill and say, sacrifice people. Don't know that lawyers are giving one person and one way in court. But they sit down over there in point the family people because they need work. And the person that needs work, and the person sacrifice person they want there. We implore our family people, but some people are happy. Because it is the time to be happy. It is nobody time when the country is not better. It is everybody time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Where we will come here and say, Brother Sakoles, you people will have to appoint a commissioner for sacrifice. Brother Sakoles, they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern the people. They have people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person with English people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every context, at least 2 million and pregnant for marketeers, people rather, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there, but everything is long never carry the people because we are close.
What is Baladino Yaga Kaluba? You go for Yaka. Yes. Because Yaka Kulma and the one that is talking to us. So you are telling to me Yaka Kulma because a budget. Oh, Yaka can be talking to the president. It's not a good thing. Yes. All over the place, raising money. Dr. Alice Cummings, under the pretext of being inclined to grant Cummings' request, for him, Joe Boakai, to recuse himself from the political race and raise Cummings' hand. So he wanted me to go on the Cummings to go and get another $300,000 from Alice Cummings. I never did. I never delivered that message to Alice Cummings because I knew Joe Boakai was dishonest. How dare I go ask Cummings for $300,000 to give to Joe Boakai when Boakai had just made a fun of Cummings in Ghana at a meeting Cummings gave him money for. And this is and these are things we could not come to the public to disclose these things. We could not do these things because we were in too deep. We were in too deep. And so what did I do? My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. We're going small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you.
And always with John Takunji and all those motivational speakers, all nationalists who believe in a change mantra for our country to ensure that we elevate these messages to the extent that they resonate with the citizens and that they will enlighten the minds and consciousness of the citizens. Those of you in the audience as well. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight on the Monday's edition of the show. This is Freedom Heart Talk. This is Freedom FM. This is 87.9. We are broadcasting live to you from the nation's capital in Monrovia. My name is Austin Kawa. Today is the 3rd day of November 2025. A lot of individuals have celebrated their birthdays already. A lot are celebrating today. And many will be celebrating this week. If you know you are a fan or a regular follower of the show and you have your birthday in November, it's important you share that with us so we recognize you on the platform. It is your platform. Just a lot to talk about tonight. We focus on governance. So now we're talking governance. So Senator Amara Corner and former Education Minister Josh Warner have written separately two interesting pieces, and we want to go through them tonight, as they will serve as the tonight. We told you at time we depoliticize the platform or the conversation to enlighten the minds of our people about governance. Something happened over the weekend involving, I don't like to say, I don't know how should I say it, because we have to be very careful how we coin it to make it to kill the taste, so it does not appear too religious sensitive. But something happened in Raleigh over the weekend, which I think, it is important that we say something about that. It's important we say something about it. Josh Warner has written The Democracy Paradox. Okay. Let's take a break. From Crime Stopper Library. We'll come back. We'll go through all of those discussions.
Happening for any reason and to anyone, until we do something to serve the search of vigilante justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
My people, your hello.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Tapla, why is the news today again? Well, the news is that the AFL is getting ready to recruit, qualify, and interested Liberians to join the army early 2026. Chill, thank God, we have been waiting so long for this time, Tapla. Let me call my children Krubo and Wimanga, yeah? But wait, the AFL is not just taking anybody. Why you me again? Chebo? The recruitment process is free. Liberian citizen from 18 to 35 years, be a high school graduate or college student, and must have your WAEC certificate. The AFL people said, no WAEC certificate, no Johnny AFL, yeah? You must be physically and mentally fit. It means be well and strong, yeah? You must not get bad human rights record, criminal record, or other bad behaviors. The AFL people say they will check for all I want to. So, Tapla, all the things you talk, that all? No. To prove your citizenship, the AFL people say you must bring your national ID card, voters registration card, Liberian passport, birth certificate, or certificate of naturalization. That one there, that the people who were not Liberian citizens, but they say they won't be citizens for Liberia, they get a document from the court. 2 passport size photos, white background, health certificate from any recognized health center. But it has to be within the last 3 months of your application, yeah? Any other relevant document you get, AFL people say bring a vocational certificate or diploma. Can't we? Wow.
then it means my children, Krubo and Wimoga, are qualified, yeah? But where will these children go to apply now?
Chebo, the recruitment exercise will take place in 4 regions. The Central Region, Mosorado, Krem-Bassa, and Magibi counties. The recruitment center will be located in Monrovia, Mosorado County. Then the Western Region, Krem-Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapolu County. The recruitment center will be in Tottenberg, Bomi County. Northern Region, the Lofa, Bong, and Nimba counties. The recruitment center will be in Banga, Bong County. Then in the Southeastern Region, the Grand Jide, River G, Maryland, Grand Cru, River Cess, and Sino counties, yeah? Because the county is plenty over there, we will have 2 recruitment centers. One in Zedru, Grand Jide County, and the other one will be in Harper, Maryland County.
But Ablao, you are my friend and brother, and you are a big man in the AFL. So I will recommend my children to you so you can help them enter the AFL.
Oh, Chebo, I want too big. AFL people say no recommendation, yeah? In fact, AFL people say soldier or civilian who tell you, say, give me money so I can help you to join the AFL. That one there, pa, that lie.
AFL people say, whether you AFL big man or small man, if you recommend anyone, they will sack you from the AFL and disqualify that person, yeah?
The high command of the AFL assures the public that the recruitment process will be strictly based on merit, yeah?
A message from the Armed Forces of Liberia.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Let's go. Let's welcome all of you who are joining the show tonight. Yes, beginning with who? Let's see. Let's start from Stephen Yagadi, Tatos Rennie. All of you, welcome to the show and welcome to our new week. Mohammed Barlow, Venetius Jr., Opie O'Neill Johnson, Saturday Wonderwear. All of you, welcome to the show. Samuel Gongwe Jr., Matthew Ndole, Peter Wonde, Tokpa Kokoyazi. Remember, you have the interface personally, Tokpa here. I beg you. Alaska P, Juji Wonwe, Candace Candy, welcome to the show. Who else? Alfred is also here from Magibby. Musa Sharif is here from New Georgia. Anthony Wilgon is here from Sunny Cody. Mohammed Kamara from Thailand. Sam Jackson, welcome to the show from Pablam. Marcus Simel, welcome to the show from St. Paul Bridge. Marcus Simoni, okay, yes, Simoni. Is that a Liberian name? No, I'm not too sure. Ibrahim Addison, welcome to the show. Stephen Fada, all of you, welcome to the show. Abel Tutai from Zreju, welcome to the show. J. Augustus Help, Randa Morris, Yasa Sharif. It's good to have all of you here tonight on the show. So you listen to the message from the Armed Forces of Liberia. Those of you who've been wishing to join the military, the opportunity is now yours because they are beginning the recruitment process. As you heard in the jingle, the 21 days to show down, and so maybe I should place emphasis on some of the qualities or the criteria that you have to pass to get qualified. They say you need 2 passport size photos, you need a health certificate that is valid for at least 3 months, younger and not older. You must be 18 years and above, a high school graduate or above. You must be physically fit. You must have no criminal record. You must have your national ID card. You must have a passport and your voting card to prove that you are a citizen, or your immigration, your valid naturalization certificate proving that you are a citizen of the country. Those of you in the Western region, you know, there's the three counties in the Western region. There's Bomi will be in Bomi as the assembly point. Those of you in the northwestern part of the country, there's Lofa, Bonk, and Nima. The point is Banga, Bon County, and those of you in the southeastern region with more counties, the military or the army say, all the counties in the southeastern region will be meeting. We'll be having 2 meeting points: Harper, Maryland County, and Soeju, Grangeville County. So, yeah, I think those are the basic information that you need to know. We will keep, as time goes by, every day every night on the show, we will keep updating you, reminding you, and encouraging you to make use of the opportunity to join the military. It's good, you know. It's good. I wish I could join, but I'm already into different career path now. So, yeah. So those of you of age, younger folks, you know, you need to make use of the opportunity to have beef up the strength of the military. You know, it's a good place to be. Yeah, even though that but it's a good place to be. And I encourage younger folks, especially those between the ages of 18 to 26 or 25. Personally, I encourage most of you to make use of the opportunity. So, okay. So where do we start from? The weekend, yes, the weekend was great. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you. I had a good practice session on yesterday on the Kerry field, and we're still debating whether I should upload the video of the Puska Goda school. So, you know, the goalkeeper, I'm scoring on in high school day, so he's not a stranger. I'm not a stranger to him. I've been scoring on a men's high school days. So I dirty record yesterday again. Okay, so I don't know what is happening, but I've seen a reply from Akaros to the Unity Party chairman. I don't know what the chairman may have said, but I'm seeing if somebody has it, because this is a reply from Akaros. He said, as a CDC frontline general, I want to remind the chairman of the Unity Party that his institution is worse at governance, and they will be the first ruling party since 1997 to receive an unpleasant democratic devastating first-round defeat without a runoff election. And the CDC will be the party to obtain the first-round absolute majority victory come 2029. Mr. Chairman, we shall meet at the Battle of Philippi. Yeah, me Battle of Philippi been here. So I don't know what is he responding to, but so yeah, but I had to read that because I just came across it. Talking about election, it's key. It's important we talk about these things. But let's move into some of our discussions. Yeah. So this is what Senator Conner has written. I think I'm forgetting about something that I promised I was going to do today. God's help always reminded me. So in case God's help will remind me. But Senator Amar Conner wrote this about, let me see 13 hours ago. It is captioned "Jobs Reach Growth" as the key to President Bouakar's success. Last week, the Bouakar administration made significant progress on U.S. visa reciprocity, signaling a renowned commitment to fair treatment between long-term allies. This significant democratic win marked the vital step toward potentially boosting Liberia's foreign direct investment and economic growth. We congratulated the president and his team on this achievement. At the same time, we noted with no surprise the optimistic yet sober economic outlook detail in the World Bank's Liberia Economic Update 2025, released on Wednesday, October 29. The report titled From Stabilization to Inclusion, Pathways to Resilient Growth and Productive Jobs highlights a high poverty rate, persistently high unemployment caused by a stagnant private sector, a rapidly growing labor force, and a lack of structural reforms. The report reveals the real-life struggles behind the data. By focusing on these human factors rather than just macroeconomic figures, the sharp decline in the mining sector from 11.9% to 1.8%. This is appalling. From 11.9% to 1.8%, and in manufacturing from 32.4% to 7.1%, reflects the daily challenges faced by our people and demands urgent attention. The data below paints a stark picture that supports the World Bank's findings. Life expectancy is now 61 years, my people. 61 years. School enrollment and educational levels remain low, and 1.6 million Liberians, almost the size of our voting population, live on less than $3 a day. 1.6 million Liberians. He says almost the size of our voting population live on less than $3 a day. If you even take $1 at 200 or at 200 LD, it means we are talking about 600 Liberian dollars. 1.6 million human beings in this country live below 600 Liberian dollars a day. Meaning every day, 1.6 million people can't afford that money to eat. Let's go forward. He said, if this doesn't grab our attention, I don't know what will. These issues are not new, but how the administration responds will define President Bouaga's legacy and the Unity Party's chance for another term. Let's be honest. Under President Weah, Liberia's GDP growth lagged in the first 4 years, then peaked in the last two, averaging around 4.8% in 2022. 4.8% in 2022 and 4.7% in 2023. However, inflation rates of 7.6% in fiscal year 2022 and 10.1% in fiscal year 2023, along with a fiscal deficit of 7.1% in FY 2023, which is fiscal year 2023, offset that growth. We could not feel the impact because of inflation. So yes, our GDP grew in 2022 and 2023, but the real physical impact could not have been felt economically because inflation strangulated it. Meaning cost of living remain high. Prices didn't drop because of inflation. That's what it means. Now, he goes further to say, the main problem was Weah's failure to attract new investments and create jobs, leaving most citizens feeling little impact from these macroeconomic numbers. By the end of his term, an outcome contributing to his election loss. Now, under President Bouaka, we see a lowered fiscal deficit of 2% in 2024. But little else has changed on the macroeconomic front. Growth is even slower than we as best at 4%. And inflation remains above the 2022 rate at 8.3%. Services and agriculture are the only sectors showing some promise under President Bouaka, growing by 5% and 3.4% respectively, helped by improved electricity supply and increased rubber and rice outputs. We commend the heads of LDC and the Ministry of Agriculture, two capable professionals I have been fortunate to work with during my time as Minister of Finance. I expressed these concerns months ago, but faced resistance even from friends within the Unity Party. The data now supports our call for a stronger focus on structural reforms that can spark growth and create jobs. This is how we tackle the real issues that matter most to our people. Intellectualizing and winning the public relations or PR campaigns on the political economy is one of the most difficult tasks for any government, as long as the people's pockets are empty. And this is all going to tie in our conversation tonight. He goes further to say, to be fair, these indicators reflect the Bouaka administration's efforts to stabilize the economy, and they are moving in the right direction. The problem is the slow pace and the limited scope of the solutions. The lack of meaningful job creation over the past 2 years remains deeply troubling. The World Bank currently warns that structural weaknesses continue to limit job creation and private sector development, and urges us to pursue job-rich growth. Job-rich growth to turn stabilization into truly inclusive progress. In simple terms, a structural weakness is an inherent long-term flaw in an economy's fundamental makeup that hinders its efficiency and stability. These weaknesses are deep-rooted issues like poor infrastructure, rigid labor markets, inadequate investment, or weak financial regulation, which make the economy vulnerable to shocks and limit policy effectiveness. The key point, GDP isn't the only measure of a nation's well-being. And this is why you'll be meaning to get. In response, the president has proposed 3 new problem I get with people, keep calling people back. Man. In response, the president has proposed 3 new investment initiatives to the legislature aligned with the measure of the economic outlook, resilient growth, and productive jobs. While promising, these proposals need careful evaluation to ensure they truly deliver real jobs and opportunities for Liberians, not just headlines and superficial interventions befitting or benefiting a few. However, these proposals are not enough. We must also invest in strengthening our institutions to restore our credibility as an attractive investment destination. And I will stop here and read this again and stop here. However, these proposals are not enough. We must also invest in strengthening our institutions to restore our credibility as an attractive investment destination. As an attractive investment designation. Hostility toward investors and reports of extortion hurt our reputation. Hostility, that is what we say, good in the Chinese. Hostility toward investors and reports of extortion hurt our reputation. In September, the U.S. Department of State published its 2025 investment climate report on Liberia, noting that government officials often view foreign investors as opportunities for short-term growth rather than long-term partners in growth. Strong institutions, effective policies, anti-corruption measures, and the rule of law attract investments. When enforced consistently, investments will flow, leading to growth, jobs, and ultimately families being able to put food on the table and regain their dignity. That's what our people want most. I'll stop here. Let me read for you what George Warner also wrote. The UB government acting sluggish, so we need to flag these things. They think intellectualizing hunger or poverty, is all to it. It's going to solve the problem, So it's important we flag these things. Let me okay, so let me just feature a piece. Written by George. Okay, so why this keeps coming? Okay, here is it. So former education minister, two former ministers, former education minister, former finance minister. George Warner writes, across Africa, he said, is captioned the democracy paradox. Inconsistency. Elections without choice. He said, across Africa, elections are everywhere, but democracy is disappearing. Across Africa, elections are everywhere, but democracy is disappearing. From Cameroon to Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo, the script is the same. Incumbents win big, observers applaud, and citizens lose faith. Paul Biya at 92 still rules Cameroon. Paul Kagame secures 99% in Rwanda. Tanzania's ruling party sweeps nearly everything. Uganda's Yoweri Museveni extends his 39-year rule under blackout. Julius Maada Bio is soon in within hours of a disputed tally in Sierra Leone. In Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara changed the rules to run for a third term, then claimed victory with 94%. In Togo, the Asengbe dynasty has ruled for over 5 decades, father to son, election after election, rewriting the constitution whenever it suits. And the world knows politely. The African Union, ECOWAS, EAC, SADC call these elections peaceful and orderly. Peaceful, yes, but fair? Hardly. This is stability. This is the stability without legitimacy, balance without choice. Yet, Liberia offered a rare spark in 2023 with just 20,000 votes between them. The incumbent president conceded defeat before the final results were even announced. It was humility, patriotism, democracy in its purest form. But as 2029 approaches, the question lingers: will that spirit endure, or will the contagion of control reach Liberia too? Across the continent, what we see are uprisings, not revolutions. Brave cows pull into the streets for a few days, shouting for change, then fade under fear, fatigue, or force. Revolutions are different. They are organized, disciplined, and sustained. They don't just remove leaders, they rebuild nations. The military coups in the Sahel are not revolutions, they are regressions. Power chanting uniforms, not hands. Africa doesn't need more saviors with guns. It needs citizens with courage to organize, educate, and hold leaders to account, not once every 5 years, but every single day. If the ballot has lost its power, then the revolution must begin beyond it, in the classrooms, the communities, online, and on the streets, where citizens reclaim their voice. Because what's dying isn't just democracy, it's the belief that our voices still matter. Now, you see how these two pieces written by the former finance minister and the former education minister, the correlation is that we're talking economy, meaning the living conditions of the people, governance, and knowledge. What you should know, what you should do, how you should stand up to your leaders to ensure that your rights are protected and that our democratic space is protected and celebrated. Picking in from, you see, I will start by saying we have a strong useless system. A strong useless system. The system that is not useful to its citizens, obviously, is a useless system. And the uselessness is so strong to the extent that it is giving the citizens some difficulties to really muster that courage to stand up to the leaders, to those residing over the state. Our leaders come to you and tell you, we are the best. Give us power. We give them power. They turn their backs and wear arrogance and consider us, the voters and the ordinary people, as pigs and cockroaches and dogs and animals. They don't think that they are supposed to be accountable to you. They don't think that the system is supposed to work for you. They believe that they are accountable to themselves and that the system is supposed to work for them, not for you. Once their expectations are met, all is okay, all is fine. How many times should we continue championing this message that we get stuck down in the score of Joe Biden to understand that, hey, our country is declining. Our country is experiencing sharp decline to the extent that the West, our friends outside here, have noticed and have written a report that damns the reputation of our country. The report says our justice system is weak. Whether you like this or not, this is America speaking. This is America communicating to the world that 2 years on Obama, we are still having conversation and seeing report that our justice system is weak. Just by that, It says to you, Total is coming here or that wants to come here, Oranto that wants to come here, HPX that wants to come here. All these companies that want to come here they're not coming to do real investment, because America has already told them that, hey, the judiciary system there is weak. Government officials can solicit bribes. They've told you that. So those people are coming here to exploit. They are not coming to invest. If you want to know what real investment is, go and see Total investment in other countries and compare it to here. These people do not even have 5 rooms offices in this country. People who imagine a company that is coming to invest 1.8 billion does not even have a real property value $1 million. $1 million too plenty. $1 million is plenty. Ask them for their engineers. Just ask HPX, where are your engineers? Where are your geologists? Where are they? Ask HPX to tell you, to point to that geologist. Where are they? Are they coming here renting our buildings and things to pump some money in the economy for the 1-2 months that they will be here? Or they come and going. They come today, they work for 1 day, they go back to Sierra Leone and sleep and come back the next day. Or go back to Guinea and come back the next day. You ask them, where are their offices? Total was here and sold out. She could not stay. Now she wants to come back to jail. She was here to sell all gasoline. She could not. She left. Now she's coming back to drill, to explore, to do deep water drilling, which is a good thing. But hey, the question is, are they coming here for real to invest? What is the value of their real property? Where are their offices? What kind of conversation? Councillor Kofa said something, I think it was this morning or yesterday. I listened to him. Oh, okay. And he was saying, he made reference to land ownership, something about land survey. That we would propose a contract like Oranto to the legislature to pass. The legislature is supposed to review thoroughly and and ratify the agreement and forward to the president for signature. In the agreement from the executive, the executive is proposing that the legislature should pass an agreement that does not even include Oranto, or does not even talk about Oranto's land ownership. Because we give it to you, you have to go survey. You pay money, you have to pay fees. Those little things. You talk to somebody in the government, the person will tell you, oh, my man, those are minor things, man. Those are minor things. They call everything minor things. So yes, we need an investment in our country. When these so-called investors come here, we have to scrutinize them to ensure that the people benefit. When the private sector is growing, the government will be making $80, $120. The private sector will pay more. They will pay more. So everybody wants to work. Everybody will have to work in the private sector because it is strong, it is stable, it is expanding, it is growing, middle class, and all of that. But the government is supposed to set the foundation. The government is supposed to lay the foundation for this. The country is not going anywhere. It's not growing. See, the lawmakers are not even talking about jobs. 3 companies, 3 investments. And nobody is telling you how many jobs these people coming here are going to offer. Whether short term, long, medium term, or long term, or contractual thing. Nobody is talking about that. No, there's nothing compelling in that contract to hire Liberian skills. They're geologists and engineers, nothing in all of the contracts. All of the TD agreements, there is nothing in all of the TD agreements that compels the company to hire at least 30%, to say 30% or 60% or 45% of Liberian intellectuals. That's how you sell and protect your intellectual properties. When you compare these investments that are coming to the country to hire, put it on the book, put it in the agreement. So they know that in the agreement, you are supposed to hire 45% of Liberian, your geologists, 45% Liberians. Your mining engineers, 45% Liberians. Your administrative staff, 60% Liberians. All these things, they are supposed to be pointed in the country in these contracts. That's how other countries do it. Here we sit down and say, after 2 years, after 5 years, and then you should turn over management to a Liberian. Instead of having these conversations, I see Liberians are going at local heads with each other on social media. Our leaders that are actually the most illiterate people in this country are the people who call themselves educators or educated people. We're having a national conversation to scrutinize the different agreements. I think the part is beginning with Oranto. All of the flaws in the agreements or the observation or the disagreements lawmakers and citizens and stakeholders are having, they have to express their disagreements. UP folks are getting angry why people are expressing their disagreements with Oranto D. What kind of illiteracy is that? And that goes to my man Kanyo. I see Kanyo going after Fonati Kofa on Facebook. I'm like, what are the guys taking Liberians to be? If Fonati has an issue with Oranto's deal, if Fonati raises those issues, Kanyo say the issues that Fonati raising are good issues, but he raising them all of hate. Hey, my people. So at that point, it says to me that we as a country, we are not ready to go anywhere. And as long as you have some of these guys around the Unity Party, we are going to continue living in a useless society because there are a group of useless and illiterate people presiding over the country. Look at the mindset about the people that nobody should disagree. When you disagree, it is a crime. And when you are having a disagreement, do not go public with your disagreement. This is how dictatorship starts. If you have a disagreement, don't go public. Squeeze your disagreement in you and go to Baga Fort, to even if it causes you to lick it beyond. Baga is waiting for anybody to lick his beyond before he even gave them ear to listen to that disagreement. And we call ourselves a literate society. This is not literacy. This is the highest degree of illiteracy. It starts from the presidency. It is deeply rooted. Illiteracy is deeply rooted in the executive mansion. It means our minds have not changed. And until we can change our mindset about governance, about leadership, about politics and democracy, trust me, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. People believe that because an agreement comes from Joe Braga, he wants it, so it should pass. Are you kidding me? Joe Braga, we only get 1 degree. The degree, but Joseph Braga degree older than me. He didn't get no special last skill. Joseph Braga didn't get no special last skill in your whole life. 1 pitiful degree with no special last skill. Unfortunately for our country, he is president today. And somebody telling us a document comes from a man with no special last skill is just supposed to walk a way through the legislature and nobody is supposed to disagree with it. Even if people have disagreement, nobody is supposed to go public or make public the disagreement with the D because it comes from 181-year-old man. What is that? Braga is not president for himself, he's president for us. If you want us to support you, you must be willing to listen to our disagreement, to our recommendations, to our advice. You can't say you want support, you want us to support you, and you don't want to listen. You get angry when we disagreed. You call a hate. You say we hate you. We are jealous of you. Jealous of who? Jealous of who? For what? The country is bleeding. Read all of the reports. World Bank, IMF, economic outlook report on Liberia. They are all appalling. Growth is slow. It is clearly stated in a World Bank report that growth is slow. It has been slow on the Braga for the last 2 years. Growth is slow. How do you want World Bank and IMF and the US to say this? What is Braga doing to change the narrative? Accepting the fact that George Weah feel he did nothing, he didn't do anything in this country. Braga was coming to change the narrative. What has he done? Growth is still slow. Braga is still running on George Weah's fiscal policy of harmonization. He hasn't changed that. So what new has Braga introduced that we can say tomorrow, this is Braga's legacy? Somebody can boast today and say, I introduced harmonization as Minister of Finance. This is his legacy for the rest of his life. Braga people criticize that harmonization was wrong. What have they changed? We're talking system failure. The system is weak. Everybody is saying this. When we say it, you say we're opposition, good. But the World Bank has said, with our country, we need structural reform. We need institutional reform. The way we're supposed to structure our governance process that will reflect accountability, transparency, and openness, we are saying no. Nobody wants to be open to the people. Nobody feels answerable to the people. So at what point do we show that we really want to structure our governance system? At what point? When Braga dies first, or when the country gets destroyed? No. Mr. Braga, we want to give him the chance to lead. We want him to do more than what George Weah did. That's what change should mean. World Bank is still reporting that 1.6 million Liberians still live below $3 a day. 1.6 million human beings live below $3 a day. This is not a good result after 2 years for a system, a group of people that claim to be so sophisticated, that claim to know everything in the country, in the world. And after 2 years, you still have 1.6 million people living below $3 US. And you want to intellectualize poverty and the struggling of our people. I listen to Gafan and all this sitting on ERBC and talking about y'all know propaganda. Y'all understand propaganda. We know propaganda. We have men. UP have men. Where are the men? The men are supposed to be fixing the country. The men are supposed to be fixing the economy. The men are supposed to be lifting people out of poverty. The men are supposed to be improving our educational infrastructure and all of and building the capacity of our teachers. The men are supposed to be building our equipping our health sector, our health centers, and also sending our medical doctors to specialize for specialized training. That's how we change the narrative. Look, our life expectancy has dropped to 61. Meaning the possibility, it means, those of you who do not understand what life expectancy is, it means in Liberia, to live above 61, that good luck. That good luck is not medical. That's what it means. So in Liberia, our age, our death rate, that's 61. You 61, it's expected that you will die at age 61 or below. You can't pop at 61. It means nobody living in Liberia will pop at 61. This is what it means. Our life expectancy, 61. Do you want to have a country where your life expectancy will be at 61? So this is staggering. It requires a national engagement. Excuse me, an engagement vote of political sentiment. But I told y'all during the Funati crisis, I said this thing Joe Braga doing is going to cause his government a lot of distraction that will cause the government to take at least 2 years to organize itself and settle. It remains the biggest setback for Joe Bara's government. Trust me, because nothing happened. Everything got broken down, and these weaknesses in the system got exposed to the world because of the Fonati thing. Only because Bara said, I will not respect the law. Fonati cannot be speaker in this country. So we lost everything, and we exposed our weaknesses to the world. Today, the entire world knows that Liberian officials can solicit bribes. Liberian officials do not respect the laws. They are aware that our justice system, our judiciary is weak. They are aware that this country is corrupt. Listen to the harsh words and phrases that are being used in these international reports. That government officials can solicit bribes from investors, and that here in Liberia we can harass investors. See that thing with Sekou Dougle in the Chinese, and the president is still keeping Sekou Dougle in the job. That is an approval to keep Sekou in that job without any serious investigation. It's an approval that the Liberian government has approved the harassment and intimidation and insult and manhandling of the Chinese investor. That's what it says. If Bara does not support it, or if the UP government does not support it, but now the Unity Party as a ruling party was supposed to issue a statement calling for an action against Sekou Dougle. The UP has not said anything. This is the same UP that is talking about 2029. This is the UP that is thinking, deep thinking about 2029. When 25 have already gone with nothing achieved. And they are concerned about 2029. George Warner said something. Let's switch to what George Warner wrote. For the last 3 weeks, there have been this conversation that, the Unity Party folks are sophisticated and that they are going to rig the election, and they can be appointing Gloria Musu-Scott at the National Elections Commission, and they come in and they finish sending the new Chief Justice for Nima to go down there. So when any election case goes to the Supreme Court, and that they will sit down there and influence the case, and that Gloria Musu-Scott will rig the election and all of that. For the last 2 weeks, I have been hearing these conversations. When you go to Facebook, you see them posting 2029. Yes, it is good. It is important that we all focus, that we all be concerned about political transition in 2029. But there is a 4 year still before us to lead the country. And all the UP hierarchies are all concerned about 2029. To the extent that they have already started strategizing to rig the election, thinking that it will go unnoticed. We have said this to George Weah, and we continue to say this to George Weah. It was 2005. Political climates are different from 2020. Will be different from 2029. The same way we are in the CDC claim in 2005, the president said that the election was not free and fair. And in 2011, the CDC boycotted the election. In 2011, the runoff election in 2011. In 2017, the CDC won the election. In 2023, the CDC lost the election and conceded. So you see the changes. You see the change. You see the sequence of changes in the political environment. CDC contested the result in 2005, but later accepted it for the sake of peace. 2011, CDC did not contest it, did not go to the election to contest the result. She boycotted the election. 2017, she went to the election and claimed victory and led the country for 6 years. 2020, she conceded defeat and walk away from the presidency and turn it over democratically to Joe Barker. The political climax changes, the sequence of events I'm saying this to remind all United Partisans and those who are thinking, those who are bearing this devilish, childish, the devilish thinking that there is going to be a rigged elections are going to get rigged in 2029 to make Jeremiah Kun president or whosoever president on the United Party ticket. That is a bluff. I'm saying this tonight for the first time. That is a big bluff. Nobody in this country is prepared to see Gloria Musu Scott or Joe Braga rig election. If Braga wants to retain himself as president, it's possible. The only way it is possible is that his legacy will vote for him. His legacy will retain him in the position. Nothing outside that. If George Weah can concede defeat with less than 20,000 votes, Joe Braga will concede defeat. We're not begging him. We will not be asking him. So if they like, they can forget about governing for the next 4 years and just focus on strategizing the rig election in 2029. And let's see what George Weah will tell us for the sake of people he accept election result and see what sedition will listen to him. Nobody will listen to George Weah. If Mr. Weah is aware that nobody is going to listen to him, the only way we are going to listen to Mr. Weah is when the elections are won free and fair. But once there are evidence, which we will have, there is going to be nothing left untouched. There's going to be nothing left untouched. So Mr. Weah is not going to tell us no, even though these are evidence to prove that the election result were tampered with in Lima, and so but let's lie. No, Mr. Weah is not going to tell us that. That would be Elma supposed to see in 2029. Trust me. Except where there is evidence to show that yes, the election was won fairly, freely, good. I will listen to him. If there is evidence to show that elections were not won freely, I'm not going to listen to George Weah. I am the first sedition or supporter of CDC that is saying this. I'm the first supporter of CDC and Mr. Weah that is saying this publicly. That I will not listen to him. I will not. If the election results are fair, good. Everybody will be honor the mandate to listen to him. But if the election results are not fair, nobody go listen to him. We're clear about that one. And for one, I'm clear. The line is June. I'm clear. I'm not going to listen to Mr. Weah. Because the United Party folks have already bearing this thing in their minds that they are going to rig election in 2029. That's why they are not concerned about governing. That's why they are uselessly running the country and recklessly governing the state and thinking that they will rig election in 2029 because they know they cannot beat George Weah and the CDC in 2029. So they are saying to themselves, let's not focus on the real governance issue. Let's focus on building an infrastructure that will aid us in rigging the election in 2029. We're going to destroy that infrastructure. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for them. And we have to be clear about this. There will be two things 2029. The military will have to come outside. And it will be the military for the citizens. And we have to be clear about these things. We have to be clear about these things. 2029 will be about the military. It will not be Joe Braga or UP. 2029, he has a full already at presiding over the army. 2029 election will be free, fair, and transparent. We will not be begging Gloria Musu Scott or whosoever he's thinking about saying, if Braga likes, he can even appoint Katumu Braga as election commissioner head. If Braga likes, he can appoint Katumu Braga as head of NEC. If he like, he can appoint his wife to chair NEC. He appoint his son or his sons and daughters as all of the commissioners under her. Then they go work at NEC. And let's see what election will be rigged in this country. That's not going to happen. You know, the arrogance in these guys have to be diluted. Now, that mindset, that perception, we will kill it now. That some of you will think that let's sit down and be reckless and be careless and 2029 will go rig election. No. No way. If some of you citizens are willing to listen to accept UP to rig election in 2029 and just accept result, that you're Billy. For me, I am not there. Count me out. Count me out. George Weah will win the election 2029 freely, fairly, and transparently. If Joe Biden will win 2029, he will win that election freely, fairly, and transparently. Nobody is going to rig election. George Weah had all of the opportunities to have rigged election. George will not say this. The former education minister said this. Let me read that portion of what he wrote today. Let me read that portion of what he wrote today. Some of you think we're joking. Y'all on play. Y'all on play. Let me read what George Warner wrote. That particular portion. He said, in the world North Polity, the IU everybody. He said, yet Liberia offer. Now I want to get in. In Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara changed the rules to run for a third term, then claimed victory with 94%. 94%. In Togo, the Yasingbe dynasty has ruled for over 5 decades, father to son, election after election, rewriting the constitution whenever it suits. In the world North Politely, the African Union, ECOWAS, EAC, and the SADC call these elections peaceful and orderly. Peaceful, yes, but fair? Hardly. This is stability without legitimacy, balance without choice. Then he says, yet Liberia offer a rare spark. In 2023, with just 20,000 votes between them, the incumbent president conceded defeat before the final results were even announced. It was humility, patriotism, democracy in its purest form. But as 2029 approaches, the question lingers. As 2029 approaches, the question lingers. Will that spirit endure, or will the contagion of control reach Liberia too? Baka is capable of doing that. He's a desperate old man, desperate for power, desperate for wealth. You see him, he never used to wear customized clothes. Old man, 81-year-old, wearing customized clothes, JNB on his shirt. Something he never did in his whole life. Now he can wear $1,200 US shoe. Now he can wear $900 US slingers, Louis Vuitton slingers, and all of that. Now Baka can 81-year-old man chasing material things as president, and you think the country is going to change anytime soon? Baka, what is to wear BB trousers, BB trousers, and BB dogan flesh sharing. Now he don't want to say he's wearing custom coat suit. He's wearing fashion coat suit, branded suits. Yeah, he don't want. And you think we are serious people? As long as some of us are around, we will continue to remind Joe Biden that this country here, he came to rescue this country. He used 2 strong words during his campaign. He said he was going to arrest the odds, the ugliness, the mess that we have created, unquote, and rescue them. What has Baka arrested? Baka has not arrested corruption. The country is intrinsically corrupt under Joe Biden. Even Joe Biden himself, I don't know whether he living with corruption or corruption living with him. But I know one of them living with is the number 1 corrupt man in the country. So Baka has not arrested corruption. Baka has not arrested poverty. Baka has not arrested poor or water system, water and sanitation system. The streets are still dirty, filthy, and smelly, stinks, and they stink and all of that. People in the slum communities can still not afford a safe drinking water. People are still dying from diarrhea. He hasn't rescued anything. All he does is he's buying his private villa in Lofa and Nima. That's all Braga does. He's concerned about himself. The money he lavished behind Ray Bank that he won't get back while he president for 6 years. And that's not going to happen. We're not going to sit down here and allow one old man come here and just rob our country without anybody saying anything. He must succeed in robbing the country, enriching himself here and his children. But one thing he will not get away with is that we will not keep quiet. We will not keep quiet. The country is bleeding. I feel sorry for school-going kids in the morning. Commercial transportation service is so difficult. Public transport extremely difficult. We do not have public transport today. I see they say the police got ambulances, which is a good news. But how many ambulances are in the hospitals? How many are in the hospitals? We keep missing our priorities. We keep mixing our priorities. We mix our priorities, so we miss them. If we stop mixing our priorities, we will not miss MIX and MISS. We MIX our priority, so we MISS our priority. We miss them. And our leaders still, I think that the government still sitting on here busy talking about they got propaganda, they got propagandists, and they are the giants of propaganda in the country. And sitting down front of ministry dirty and stink only getting in the building, no running water in the building there. Here talking about we are the giants of propaganda. You see how our officials are insensitive and useless. Go to Father's ministry and start to play dirty. He was in that building before. He said, where of the challenges in that building? The building does not even have running water in the building. In 2025, he here bragging about having being giant of propaganda. That all they know how to do, make big mouth and power around and wear arrogance. Give them power, give them position. They will do nothing. They will fear the people. And they go to radio and sit down and brag and make big mouth all day. The people pull. Take a will carry to a man house, to a man village in Lofa, and see what people drink water from. They come here and sit down in Moravia, sit down on state radio and make big mouth and wear arrogance and honor perform. And they feel satisfied and say and call themselves government officials or intellectuals or technicians. Technicians in government are supposed to be changing the narratives. Yes. You take your microphone to the public. The people will tell you what they want. The people will tell you things are hard. Things prices are up. Aha. They cannot afford. They cannot afford. People are still going to bed hungry after 2 years under the so-called rescue government. Braga said nobody, no kid was going to be selling in the street in this country. Go read Broad Street. Broad Street, where the same place the kids were selling in the street under Joe Braga when he was vice president for 12 years. Under Joe Weah, he opened a mouth wide and started criticizing and said when he becomes president, no kid will sell in the street. 2 years running. General Ministry has done nothing. The State Corporation has done nothing. Braga has said nothing about street selling. The children under age are still selling in the street. What has he done 2 years? How long will it take or should we give him to stop the kids from selling in the street? He said Group of 77, he was vice president. He could not take the blind people from begging in the street. All of the street from begging. Vice president for 12 years. after he left the vice presidency, he goes to campaign to you and tell you that if he becomes president, he is going to remove all the blind people from the streets. They will not be begging and all of that. After 2 years, what do you see? Don't you see blind people begging in the street? Hey, woman. Here's woman. Go to Cuba 77 and see what they have built. They said they are going to build new home for the people to relocate them. Y'all ask them for the. That's the blueprint. The blind people are still begging in the streets. They're not living decent lives. Barker has never mentioned people living with disability in his speeches. He has never. Unless he scored to one program by the second lady, and then he will go there and talk. But in his national speeches, he has never said anything about people living with disabilities. Barker speaks more about the underprivileged youths or Zogos than even people living with disabilities. People who did not cause their condition. Barker speaks more about people who cause their own problem, the Zogos, than people who did not cause their own problems, the people living with disabilities. Checkpoint, I can't be opening the telephone lines. And when you tell me what Barker has introduced, whether it's economic policy or social safety policy, any policy you know about that Barker introduced, agriculture policy, any policy you know that Barker has introduced to lift people out of poverty. Let's hear it. Maybe I don't know anything, or I'm a weird man, so I don't want to say it. So we will announce the telephone numbers to call me and tell me, what do you know that Barker has introduced, new policy that he has introduced? Because Gafan said they are the intellectual giants in the country. They are the propagandists, the biggest propagandists in the country. So if Joe Barker has introduced a new policy to attract investors in this country and lift Liberians out of poverty, 1.6 million people that cannot even afford $3 US a day to eat, they will or should be running around with that policy. They are not. Why are they not talking about their progress? Gafan said they are the biggest intellectual and propagandists in the country. Why are they not talking about presidential villa, providing information about a presidential villa in Lofa? They're scared to talk about it because they have violated all of the rules to build that place, all of our procurement rules to build that place for Joe Barker. Joe Barker stole money from a group of BMs, black money people that ain't in that place. You can justify the money for that they used to build that place. That's why they did not want to come public. We had to pressure them to say something. The rogues calling themselves change makers. And some of these young people, fall for their lies, their lyrics. Yeah. Some of these people, these young people, I feel for them. They fall for the lies that were told by UP folks that Barker was bringing change. Somebody who could not change his own life. That man was vice president and saying he been in government for 45 years. Was he tapping in being government? Was he tapping in open frame? The open frame. Even though that other would be as corrupt as he is, he another criminal like Barker, but they all at least they went to school in the open frame. Yeah, the open frame. All I'm afraid that I can say the name of people in a group. Kumi's Nigga Foundation. They employ people. Ellen Johnson said it. She had to stop running before she even became president. They have history of employing people. What has Barker opened on his own? Say for Barker to say, this is my investment. This is my frame. Whether it's professional or it's business. This is my investment or this is my frame. Here we're providing consultancy here for agriculture, for farmers. The company will develop project proposals for them. We're writing project proposals for them for farmers here. The company will give them 60% discount as my contribution in the agriculture sector to only farmers. What can Barker point to say this is my agriculture firm that are open and employ people? or I wrote policies, I wrote project proposals for farmers. Where is it? So the man had no history of rescuing himself or anybody. He comes to you and tell you, even the rescue name was not coined by him. Look, I don't know whether Baka used medicine on these people to blind their eyes or their reasonings. Even the rescue team Baka was talking and he's still talking. They're not him. They're not an idea. They're not an idea. The man has innovated nothing. He has no innovation. He lives on borrowed knowledge. People gotta invent things, people gotta innovate, people gotta develop, people gotta structure everything for him. He just go there and sit down. Glory seeker. He says for his friends to go through struggle, he can't sit down and claim it. That always survive. That's how you always survive. Because you always see him looking innocent, looking sorrowful, so you think he's a good old man. Then I'll conclude on this note. We've said this on many occasions, but George Warner's piece has brought that memory back to me. I believe, and I've said this, that some of you seditionists and supporters of WIA who were angry over WIA accepting the election result. Today, Mr. WIA is the number one. He's the biggest reference for democracy in Africa. Some you people will say, okay, the record you want, let him take the record. Liberia is peaceful today. That not one building was broken down or burst into and looted because of George Weah. It is because of Weah's decision that there was no election violence reported from ruling party supporters. They killed Tamamomo. They murdered him. They stoned him to death in Lofa. Weah did not do anything. CDC did not do anything. Did not retaliate, I must indicate. They killed Joshua right before their party headquarters. On camera. See Master Mamomo. CDC did not retaliate. This country would not have gone for election. I'm telling you, I'm around. I know the threat that got neutralized just on the tolerance of George Weah. And that's why people that Darius Dillon always saying it in the public that George Weah in their heart, as soon as star, he will just for the sake of peace. Because the man won't be free. The man won't be free. The man let us. So this is the mindset that people that Darius Dillon are having about George Weah. They believe that they can go at any level to misbehave or destabilize our democracy by rigging election with the mindset that George Weah will accept the election result. That's not going to happen. 500,000 persons die in the country according to stacks from our civil war. Liberia still get 5 million people lost. After 2029, if they don't misbehave to rig election, people will die. There will still be people left behind to live. If anything happens in this country because you people decide to rig election, people will die from. There will be casualties from both sides, but there will still be Liberians who will survive that. Who will survive that crisis. And this message is also for the Americans and our partners here. That if they cannot talk to the government people to stop going in the public and threatening and bragging about rigging election in 2029, this is provocation. And the violence that Joe Biden wants to happen in this country, sedition will not bow for it, but sedition will stand firm to ensure that the system, our democratic infrastructure that has been built, that have been built on the sweat and blood of the American people's money will be protected. That one is a guarantee. That is an assurance to everybody listening to me tonight. Everybody listening to me tonight. Seditions will not play to the violence of the Unity Party folks. But seditions will not allow Unity Party to rig election in this country. Not even under the arms and ammunition of foreign troops. That's not going to happen. It will not happen. This is the first caveat we're saying. So if you know what I know, you need to focus on governance. Continue to expand electricity. Build roads. And put food on the table for the people to eat. And go to bed in comfort. And see what the result will be like. Nobody is afraid of defeat. If Joe Barker does well, build the roads, put food on the table for people to eat, grow the private sector, which he can do because there are good investments here that we can press and hold to invest their monies here. The other day, I was somewhere, a colleague and I were having a conversation about, and I think a senator posted that yesterday or today. I don't know who that senator. But we've been having this conversation. Is there any reason they won't, even we ourselves who were in power, we are equally guilty for this, on this one? Is there any reason why past and present leaders are refusing to compel these people mining our mineral resources from this country to build their processors here? ArcelorMittal has built hers. I clap for her. Thanks to her. Is there any reason? We need to. There are things that ArcelorMittal folks are even producing that Liberians don't know. Now I try to reach out to their team to do some videos and take some journalists there to go and see what people, car parts, some manual parts on vehicles, their screw, their brake shoes, and all of that. The people, the manufacturing those things, they are there. Liberians that people are not talking about. So we need these investors who are coming here, extracting our mineral resources to build the processors here, to build the manufacturers here. Do you know how many? We talking the last time I said 1.8 million. Somebody come and say, "Man, it's only happy to you, eh?" Only be mining. There are other people mining gold, not at an industrial scale, but there are a lot of smaller companies that are mining diamond and gold in this country. Let's just stop B Martin. B Martin alone, we are told reliably that B Martin takes over $30 million US from this country every month. Gold worth 30 million, at least 30 million every month from this country. Put in helicopter, fly to Freetown, and take it to Turkey or Europe. And guess what? Simon Freeman can go to Europe and buy a watch that costs 250,000, 300,000, 500,000. It comes to Liberia and brag about it. The taxes, the GST, everything he pay in that country's economy. Because everything on the taxes on the GST on the country. What does Liberia get? Nothing. So the people, do you know how many gospels we have here in this country? All these guys need is to upgrade themselves, get more sophisticated machines and all of that, and equipment to manufacture, to manufacture their gold into finished goods or products. You walk from here and walk to Milan and buy with 150,000 now chain set $1.2 million chain set. Tourists, business people, stars. They go to these places and buy these jewelries worth millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you know where it is for Liberia to go and manufacture? Even say, 60% of what is extracted, our gold that is extracted will be processed right here, manufactured right here. We start shipping or we start exporting our finished products. We sell our intellectual property too. All these designs that we have here, they are machines. They're sophisticated machines to design more beautifully the earrings, the gold rings, the necklace and neck chain and waist watches and all of that. We just need to upgrade. We need system. And I'm not talking about you're talking about structural reform. Structural reform. This is it. This is when we start talking about structural reform. This is it. How can we structure our mineral industry that will work for our people? That will contribute to economic growth. That will emancipate our people from poverty. The way we structure it, we say, let's structure it in a way using the law to say 60 or 70% of our gold or our minerals that are extracted from this country will be processed and refined or manufactured right here. Then, or we form a public-private partnership with some of these manufacturers of these machines that are used in these jewelry shops to upgrade, to help our goldsmiths to upgrade their different places. That people can come here. Stars can come here. That people got good gold. The diamond come here and buy these things and go. We ship, we sit here, we mine everything and ship everything. And we'll go there to buy and come back. Our logs. They say, why are we not producing our own bed, our own living room, dining room, and room sets? Beds. I know people, government officials that can ship, but the thing is in the open set. That's Jema. Jema, you've been selling here all these years. You have the capacity to bring equipment and set their own factory and start manufacturing your beds. Why is that difficult? Why is that difficult? Jema will give you 60% ownership in the company. From our company will give you 60% ownership. We'll get Liberia. We look for investors, Liberian investors, and give them 10, or 15, or 7% ownership. Say you bring in the equipment, you got the capacity, we'll give you 60% or 50% or 40% ownership. Go and bring the equipment here, open your factory here, manufacture over. We sell 40% of our wood or our logs to you. Or our wood in general. We sell 40% of our wood to you. Manufacture chairs, beddings, bed set, chairs, just everything. Furnitures in general. Manufacture furnitures here. Because when you have our country is heavily dependent on other countries. That's why we're manufacturing locally. You start exporting. And once you're exporting, my brother, you makes millions, billions. He export. Just sit there and ask yourself, how many millions Liberia is losing to import? And you compare if you were exporting, see how many millions will be coming here. Just Asia alone, do you know how many millions we sit down here and spend over 50 to 60 million US dollars just for their own rice importation to Asia? India, they send that kind of money there. Imagine if 60% of that money was staying here. Do you know how much Jema alone, not all the other furniture, just Jema, do you know how much they spend to import to import those furniture to this country? Insurance, they pay on transportation, they pay taxes, they pay a lot of things. Imagine you tell manufacturer here. They want to come here to buy from you. We can't be shipping all of our products. We can sell raw materials to people because we're a member of the WTO. So we can say no, we're holding on to everything. But we have to set laws as part of our restructuring process. We have to set laws that will work for us. I know one of my friends can call Ghana and say the percentage economy, the percentage country. Say they love percentage. Ownership. They gave ownership to their citizens in everything they do. Everything Ghanaians do. Everything Ghanaians negotiate. They gave ownership priority to their citizens. That's why to work in Ghana as an accountant in the bank is difficult as a non-Ghanaian. No. Plumber. Electrician. In the restaurants, the hotels. Go to see what you see who Chinese men standing in hotel, standing behind hotel restaurant, in one restaurant or in one hotel, standing taking pressing button on computer and building you for you to pay. He gave you change. You will not see it because the people's system is. That's why Ghana has a strong. Ghana get rich people, but Ghana has a strong middle class. This is the reason, because they prioritize jobs, they prioritize jobs and they reserve jobs, certain jobs for only Ghanaians. Yet, some Ghanaians are still complaining that the country is hard. And it's true. Because their cities has appreciated again. So it's true, but the point is they are better up than us when it comes to, putting food on the table for people, for the citizens. They're better off than us. They're better off than us. For us, we are doing that. We take out 1.6 million, and even that number say, an economist just tells me that number say he adapting the number. That be too small. But considering that the number is true, 1.6 million human beings in your country, you have 5 million people, and you have 1.6 million people living living below $3. You know what you're talking about? I think that should be almost only around 30% of your population. Yeah. That's not a good deal. That's not. We're not talking about people that are poor, living abject poverty. They're not ill. They say people that cannot afford $3. 1.6 million people living below $3. They get people that are living above $3, but the country still hard for them. That one, they add that one there. The people that are living above $3, but the country still number maybe will be around 2.5 million. We add to the 1.6 million. And the ones that people who go to school, they get nothing to do, they can hustle, and then stay the country hard for them, but they're living above $3. So all of us who live above $3, those of us, all of us who are living above $3, our number has not been added to the 1.6 million. No. So we add me, Oliver Khan, Elesa, A.B. William, Abuden, Sam Sion, Kebe Sion, because they're not rich, but they can afford and they're living above $3. You add everybody to that number. There are some assistant ministers. They are not rich. They're not in middle class. They didn't get house yet. So they're not stable. But they can afford, they are above $3. So we have to put all of us in that bracket and add it to the 1.6 million people that cannot afford 1.3. The country is sick economically. It's sick. Conversations because the politics get so terrible that people, it sways away the attention of the people. At times, even the others can even be angry at times. Here you go. Hold their politics. People hungry. People can't even get food to eat. Today we're in the market. People can't even buy. They're just talking politics. People say these things. I hear these things myself. Then I say, I feel guilty at times. I'm like, because we are on the radio because of these people. If these people are not hearing what they want to hear, are not hearing us saying what they want to hear, it becomes useless. They get tired listening to the radio because we are not talking their issues. We are not talking their issues. For them, they want access to public transportation. It must be available. It must be cheap. It must be affordable. But they assume it's the public transport. Sir Joseph say $50. Then not everybody can even afford the $50. So yeah, it is cheap. You may consider it cheap and available, but it's not affordable. Meaning more people cannot afford to get this, to purchase it. So it's still not affordable. Public transport, education, yeah. The bigger schools in the country, the most expensive schools in this country, there are parents who are still struggling, working parents struggling, finding it difficult to even meet their obligations for their children in school. I know that. And don't ask me why I know that, because I have my son in some of these schools, my children in some of these schools, sorry. So I know what working parents are going through. I know a situation where a parent, the school, an elite school had to ask, an elite school had to replace 2 students because, not necessarily because the student's parent could not meet the financial obligation, did not have the money, but all of that, there was no way to connect. So no, students are in demand. The moment the parent was available to make the money available, they no, we have replaced the children already. So just think about the people. When you go to government schools, public schools, you feel bad about your government. The system is not working for the people. And every day, and look, there's a reason why I will always get angry, and every time I speak, I will conclude my thoughts or my presentation with the legislature. That place. Before I say what I want to say, Richard Kun is my friend. Yeah, now we know, but we've not interacted for years, but he's my friend. Yeah, but listen, we have a speaker. And I said something when Richard Kun referred to himself as the regime speaker. For me, I thought that reference was made in good context, and I thought he was going to prove us wrong. That the contrary, because we say to be a regime speaker, it means you are a puppet. To be a regime speaker, it means you are a puppet of the president. But so some of us thought, in Richard Kun's context, regime speaker were being to introduce policies and systems and structure, that will work in the interest, that will easily work in the interest of the people. With the understanding that if we have an opposition leadership in the legislature, it must slow progress because they might want to, cause delay, filibuster, and everything just to slow progress, to undermine progress and growth. So let's get a ruling party speaker or a regime speaker. The regime speaker is there, and it seems lawmakers are complaining now they want to remove Thomas Fala. They get signature, they reach a signature, how to put on the floor, they stay negotiating on Marbeni, restructuring, position, job. It's just all about position in that place. You can say the position, you can criticize. It's all about position. I know the story about a bank in this country that Thomas Fala is controlling. A bank. And one fact that I was talking. A bank in this country that Thomas Fala is controlling. Fala tells the guy Fala tells them what to talk, what not to talk, whether to talk, whether not to talk. As soon as they get issue, they take from the call Thomas Fala. A bank, a whole banking institution in the country is paying loyalty to a deputy speaker. And you think the country is going anywhere? You think this country is going anywhere when the banks are controlled by politicians? The banks are not independent. They have politicians controlling them. So Richard Coon became speaker with the mindset that they were going to scrutinize or undo everything that they consider bad that previous legislatures did, including the one under buffer chambers, including audit. Today we can hear audit. Today we can hear audit. They said Fonati was what? Strangulating the GSC people. GSC people they put themselves in politics. They lied that Fonati was preventing them from auditing the house. Fonati leaves. Richard Coon takes over. Where is the audit? That Fonati is still preventing GSC from auditing the house? All they say they won't do it from 2022. What kind of stupidity is that? 2022, 2023, 2024. Why you won't audit the place on 2022? Oh, you got Primo in and Falana were in Ways and Means. I thought they were not there. The time they were not into Ways and Means, that's the time they want to audit the house. To keep them away, Nuku in town, they won't put Nuku in town there, Eddie Starr in town there, Primo in town, and Tom Father in town. Jeremiah Kun was coaching on Ways and Means to Father. They don't want to include them. So they say, let's do 2022. You see the country? It's imagine people say, oh, Austin, you don't talk. Oh, you're the papi real small, and you're doing. Yeah. How can we leave the papi under this condition? So the legislature is Liberia's problem. I will close on this note. That's why every time I speak, I make reference to the legislature. That place, it is Liberia's problem. Richard Coon is making power on Facebook with Thomas Nimlin for re-election being way in 2029. Richard Coon is making power with Thomas Nimlin. Countrymen. Two of them showing talks. The Speaker of the House. He's more concerned. He's more worried about getting re-elected in 2029 when there is a national tax that's before him to aid in the coordination and the running of the country. He's a third powerful man in the country, and he's concerned about a district seat. A seat. He's more concerned about it. Y'all say y'all get country. Y'all sit down here and say y'all get country. We have to close. I can forget. So now I'm going to do the show for 1 hour and go home because I don't have a vehicle now. My vehicle, for the last 2 months, I've been using commercial. Yes, I gotta go soon, but family. Let me just take a few calls and then I can go home. So 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. These are the numbers to call to join the show. The WhatsApp number is active on +231. On +231. Who's this? Let me read this quickly. Okay, so let's take calls. +231 886 500 104. Those are the numbers to call and join the show. Let's take this person, our first caller. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother Austin.
Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Otis Barkley, I do join you from my McDonald's Street resident. You know, I really appreciate what all you said. But you see, this country, we are moving nowhere. Just as my brother who is presiding over the country as president, who doesn't even come with any good thing to the presidency. So what we expect, the king to the presidency will last. They denigrate so many things, and they are doing it. One was it denigrate something that you know when you come to power you will do. Then what the essence of denigration? But Austin, we don't have nothing better that will come out of the country Liberia right now for the past 4 years. Because we have a bishop who is residing over the country. And He has made a vision shaping like or deacon shaping like like I don't know how to express that word.
All right. Before you can mass CC on the radio. Hello, let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is S. Momo. I join you for steering table before
Okay.
Yeah, to add on to what everything you saying. You see, Richard Kureja disgrace to the country. You are not doing the library people job. This is the rescue mission. Why we elected them for? They are not doing it. Why? You make it proud of other people. And to the point again, I got a couple of words. You see, sometimes that man is the serious disgrace to the country. And no ever in the country will see Khalid Bagbara to respect the game. Will tell children that anywhere, even the support of the government that coming to assist, will always make their support. Because Khalid Bagbara, they are shame and disgrace in the country to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to somebody else from here. Good evening to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Kawa.
Let's hear you.
Mani Echego Banyani Koneva to shoot the presenter with our community. You know, thank you for your talking about this viewing. We know the whole foreign the hot or represent the put interest, they put their interest first. And Mr. Kawa, the EU about 2029 election, we're not going nowhere. Where the UP official and planning to re-election. Maybe 2020, we'll go back to 2020. And if we committee, maybe 2020 now, Labro, so they just had to get it. Honor, Richie, Labro, run on air. So when they official, around 2029.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the men can be telling you they will rig election 2020.
Yeah, what is up?
Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Tower. This is a common testing general.
Okay.
Talking at peace. Well, we'll see 2029, we'll see who will rig election. We'll try the Bush commando will be also.
Very much. We'll take 3 more calls and then we'll call 8 and Nadia. Good evening to you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Fone Bena. I join you. Yeah, we just go and feel that they can steal elections 2029. It will be the end of the country. If any other president, which of
Okay, somebody push you off the line. Let's talk to that person. Good evening to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Paul Mobile and I join you from my Chicken Sofa resident, soon to be called Baka Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, I listen to you. You know, most of your talking points, you always based on criticizing the government.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing you fail to inform the people of this country about a lot of great things that have been done by this government. Mm-hmm. For instance, the chicken factory road business that is not going to be completed in the next 2 years. You never want to spoke about it. You never want to spoke about the lot of health workers that was sent to Nairobi, Kenya to study at the Jomo Kenyatta Memorial Hospital. We can't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't talk about the Southeastern road liability of carried on by this government.
You say what? Say again. You say Southeastern road what? Is Southeastern road what?
Yeah, you can talk about the Southeastern road.
No, you use a word. You use a word. You say the supreme.
Forget about the war today, President. We are going to go to
remember that point. I think that's simple. You call, yeah. You can disagree, but you take your time without forcing. Hey, let's hear you. Without forcing, my man.
Yeah. I don't, you know, I mean, the information they give me. China one John Omina, in my get back now. I was telling them really. It's outside how they increase it. You know, the party around with that kind of
salary?
Yes, increase it. The people watch your work, people say, I don't know. Things ain't working with the education ministry. I said, but then you fooling the people. You fooling the people. What was that? What is lying? They had to call salary. Oh, that they were not easy. They were 3. But me, and that's that. But you're looking at it and you're lying. Oh, don't write Are you a senator?
Thank you. The guy who just called La. The man La. UP man can La. And you know, UP man can La, and they can take the lying behavior to their UP chat rooms. So they are indoctrinating new liars. That's what they're doing. They are breeding new liars every day, indoctrinating them into lies. So what they see here in the chat rooms and on the social media pages of these UP officials, that's what they run with. Chicken Soup Factory rule. That Joseph Boga built Chicken Soup Factory or building Chicken Soup Factory rule. That rule. You see, I mean, I used to be among we are projecting because that was part of our weaknesses. Things we intended doing were not communicated. Things we were doing were not communicated adequately. Things we did, we didn't communicate them adequately. So yes, we share a portion of the responsibility for these things. Imagine we're supporting you CDC and we're constantly completely on the same radio about access to information. So do they see the result? Project that we have started that it didn't complete. Project that we have started, conversation, concluded deals, sound paper, sound documents, everything. Bwaka people there came over and they say, CDC government. Okay, but let's engage the people and see whether they can start now. Because they don't want to give credit, they say, Bwaka started. Bwaka started Chicken Soup Factory rule. Tomorrow we'll tell our camera picking to go Chicken Soup Factory rule just because of that thing to do some videos so we can play on the show tomorrow. I'll call the people, maybe DTV and DN news people to go Chicken Soup Factory rule and let them ask the people who started that road, who started that road project, and we'll talk to the public works people for the history of that road project. So my young brother who called the show and say that Bwaka doing Chicken Soup Factory road, so he can get the real information. We'll do that tomorrow. So folks, we actually have to go. Thanks to all of you for the listening role you play. Okay, so I will leave you a message from the Armed Forces of Liberia. Recruitment process is on. If you're interested in joining the military, the process is on. The process is about to start. Until within 21 days from now, the process will be commencing. You need your 2 passport size photos, your health certificate. Should not be more than 3 months old. You must be 18 years old and above, or a high school diploma and above. You must have all, if you have certificate and then you will have everything to submit them. It's an added, which is going to be an added advantage for you. You must be physically fit. You must have no criminal record. You must have no criminal record like Jeremiah Kun and Joseph Boga. You must have your citizen ID, your national ID card, your passport, your voting card. If you are a naturalized citizen, they say you must have your naturalization certificate, legal, legit, and the different points. The northwestern place is going. Northwestern counties are going to be meeting in a conversion in Bangabong County. The western region will be bombing, and then the southeastern will have 2 meeting points. Harper Maryland County is one, and Soeju Grangeda County is another one. So those are the basic information. We will continue to update you as the process enrolls. So yes, thanks to all of you again. So we will come back here tomorrow. Somebody, Abu Mkawa. Oh, welcome, Chief Dawara Sharif, Achible, Bala, Sarman, Simna. I hope I got the name correctly. Bala Simna or Simne, one of the two. Helena Wilson, Philip Morris. You guys from CDC Europe, I got a serious issue with you. But anyway, I will call your president. I don't even know who even won the election. Can you imagine? Are you doing well for your free publicity? You didn't pay rack. You go to CDC Europe team in Brussels. You didn't pay rack for the publicity to give me information about your election result. Yeah, you won't do it. Okay, you will come out again for publicity. I'm talking to you. See, you people will catch you. I'm talking again. I leave it here. I see you doing here in Labrador. All the projects we're doing, the people but Bagakan is stealing all the projects because we didn't talk about it. Thank you to all of you in Radio Lane. It was nice having all of you under my voice. My respect to all of you. I deeply and hugely appreciate the support, to keep yourselves up for 2 hours plus. It's a huge sacrifice that requires my commendation, my appreciation, in fact. I must commend all of you. We shall be back here tomorrow by God's grace. Yes, again, just as you remind us, so yes, the graduation is the 14th, sorry, has been postponed to the 14th instead of the 12th. So it's next week, Friday. Yes. I'm telling you, brother. Until we see you tomorrow, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. My name is Austin Kawa Baba.
People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, them stay, they delay. People suffer, no work, for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation. People, you got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
My people, your hello.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Tapla, why is the news